Welcome back to the Hope to Hope Conference. I'm Kim White with the My Sexy Business team.
And I'm Coni Meyers with Crystalline Moment Success Movement and Publishing.
We are thrilled that we are having this is the third day. We're about halfway through the day, and we have had some amazing people on. We have just had an amazing conference already. But I have to tell you, I'm pretty fired up about this next one. We got this call from someone who is a mutual friend, and I got in a conversation with this beautiful lady, Jennifer Milne, and she said, "You need to come to New Jersey. I've never even been to New Jersey. You need to come to New Jersey and talk to this woman because she needs you, and she's doing all these amazing things, and she's doing this and she's doing that." She gives me this whole list of things, and I'm thinking, wow, she probably won't even answer my call. She's so amazing. And then I show up in New Jersey. I show up
as you do.
As I do. That's what a princess does. We show up. And I met the most incredible, giving, generous, loving, brilliant woman, Christianna Capra, also known as CC. So help me welcome CC to the Hope to Hope Conference. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much, both of you, for inviting me.
Well, CC, I need your help because I can mess it up all by myself, or you can help me. But I just want everyone to know, the overall, and I'm going to give you my version, and then you can tell the real truth. How's that?
We'll see which one's better.
Cece is amazing. She loves horses and she loves people, and she has found a way to be a blessing to both. She's found a way to connect people that need hope and healing, and she has done it in a way that it's just amazing. And I heard about what she was doing with equine therapy. I heard about what she was doing with her nonprofit, Spring Rains of Life. But I will just tell you, until I got there, I had no idea that I would fall so in love with the horses and with her, because she has a heart. I'm in awe. I'll just tell you, I'm in awe of the heart that you have for the people that you work with and for the horses that you take care of. You are an amazing woman. And, I had the privilege of sitting in on a class from Rutgers University. They had students there, and the Dr. Maria and Christiana were helping this medical class, this medical students, be able to deal with nonverbal communication. Now, I know everybody at home's thinking, I'm busy and I don't have time to listen to all this, but let me tell you something. You better be listening, because the doctors are busy. The doctors are, struggling to keep up with patients and care for the patients. And what I witnessed in that class with these students, the critical thinking involved and the critical learning that they were doing, because they had to come up with solutions as if the horses were the patients.
Wow.
I was blown away. I'll just be honest. I was completely blown away, because I thought, oh, this is cool. As a princess, I'm thinking, awesome, I get to go do this fun thing. And then I get there and I realize the impact that this is having it will have on millions of people, because it's teaching bedside manner. It's teaching skills that are awesome. And then we go on and we witness how we have all kinds of testimonials that'll be coming out too. I'll just tell you that. I'll give you that little tidbit. But we also have witnessed the amazing thing of these horses are helping vets. They're helping troubled teenagers. They're helping princesses. I have to tell you, I I had some moments in the barn myself that were pretty amazing with the horses, because it's like they look into you, and you learn something about yourself. You actually start to learn about you through their actions and behaviors. And so, Cece, I cannot tell you thank you enough for letting us come and hang out with you and be with you. But tell us what you want everybody to know about what you do.
Wow. Okay. I mean, being that I took a major life shift in about 2000, I want to say 2007 is when I learned about EGALA, which is who certifies the EGALA, who certifies our work. EGALA stands for the Equine Assisted Growth and Learning Association, and they're an international organization that certifies people to do EAP and EAL. And I use a lot of acronyms, so I'll spell that out. EAP stands for Equine Assisted Psychotherapy, and that is governed by HIPAA laws, and we follow all the therapy protocol for the state of New Jersey. But there are programs all over the world that are EGALA certified, so this is not just New Jersey. This is happening in all 50 states in the U.S. and in over 50 countries worldwide. So it's really a big organization, and it's grown. I saw some stat somewhere that it had grown over 400% in the last 5 years or something. So it's really taken off. And then there's EAL, which is what the doctors is equine assisted learning. So that's like life skills and leadership and team building and things like that. So we do both. I started out with an LLC called Spring Reigns of Hope, and that does private therapy for individuals, couples, families, groups, anything mental and emotional health related. So anything that you would go to see a therapist in an office for, we can do, I want to brag and say, a lot faster in an arena with horses. So that's where it started, and then our LLC also does a lot of EAL. So we do work with the medical students, and I'm actually really proud to announce that we're starting a pilot program this year doing CME and CEU classes for professionals. So we'll be working with doctors, surgeons, nurses, med techs, people who are professionals and need to earn those licensure hours. We have Rutgers University is now sponsoring us to do that, and we had our first one just a little while ago, and it went really well. So that's the LLC, which is Spring Reigns of Hope. About 2 years after I started the first company, I was approached by a 9/11 widow by the name of Mary Ellen Salamone, who helped me start Spring Reigns of Life. We had a lot of interest from veterans and at-risk teens that wanted to do this work but didn't have the budget or a way to pay for it. And so that's kind of how the nonprofit got started. It was just set up to serve trauma survivors in a group format. So the nonprofit Spring Reigns of Life, it works with combat veterans with PTSD, either medically diagnosed or self-diagnosed. We work with at-risk and homeless teenagers. We work with abdicated youth, so we've worked with kids in juvie jail and gang prevention and things like that. It gets pretty serious. And then our final population with the nonprofit is young children who are grieving, ages 5 to 10 years old, who've had a major loss in their family. So it's a group format because we figured that way we could help as many people as possible for the money that we can raise. And that is all the nonprofit does, is it works with trauma survivors, moderate to severe trauma. So I really get amazed when I look at these horses, who, they're my family, but I see them in these different situations. I see them working with medical students in a very different way than they work with the trauma clients. And it just, I guess what happened was I kind of got addicted to witnessing miracles. And so the further down the rabbit hole I got in pursuing this dream, the more steadfast I became in trying to make sure that it happened, because I cannot give up that ability to be in the arena and see what happens in such a short time, from people who are anywhere from suicidal to just simply trying to be a better doctor or a better manager at a corporation or a better CEO. So it just runs the gamut, and I think that's what amazes me. I'm the horse side of the team, so I have to always work with a mental health professional, and so I'm the equine specialist. That is my role. And I work with about 4 or 5 different mental health professionals, depending on who we're working with. I have people who specialize in different areas. So, and when I say the rabbit hole, to me, the rabbit hole means I started out as an equestrian. You know, I rode horses my whole life. I have 40 years experience with horses, and I rode and competed. I did eventing and dressage, and really it was my horse habit that I had to support. So living in New York City, I had a job, I had a corporate job, several corporate jobs actually, but one that I kept for 15 years doing publicity at Crep Communications, and that supported my personal horse habit. Then in 2007, I discovered a gala, and I realized, wow, I can actually have a job that, even if it just paid my basic bills, I wasn't looking to ever get really wealthy out of it, but just a way to work my life around horses and be with horses, and then have a career with that. So I had savings account and a 401k, which wasn't all that big, but I had one. And, you know, massively great credit. I had like 10 credit cards with a 800 score. I was doing it right. And then I discovered this, and I said, well, I'm going to do this. This is my dream. And so with the LLC company, little by little, you know, the 401k got opened and spent, and the savings went out the door, and the credit got slowly trashed. And so over about a 6-year period, including the nonprofit being founded, I woke up one day and I found myself living in a horse trailer on a horse farm. I always wanted to live with my horses. I just wasn't that specific. And, you know, doing what I love to do, but I realized that kind of following a dream and doing what you love to do does require sacrifice. And so little by little, it took 6 years, but I ended up one day realizing, wow, I don't really have anything to speak of as far as like bank account or a house or a home or, you know, a car that runs well or any of those things that I just took for granted that I had to have in order to exist. I have subsequently stopped competing because that's a whole another bit of money that I couldn't do anymore. So I took my Grand Prix prospect dressage horse and pulled him out of training and put him into this work, which he adapted to really well. And now it's all just been focused on pursuing this dream and helping people, whether it be professionally with you know, the doctor's workshops, which is called Horses for Healers, or, you know, corporate training, which is called the Corporate Herd, or, you know, mental and emotional health. So being that and you know what I realized actually is that a lot of the material things that I thought were so important, to have status and to feel like I'd accomplished something, they really didn't mean that much to me anymore. What mattered to me was that I kept this afloat, and then I could keep having people come in our arena gate that either needed help to stay alive and on their own path in life, or just simply just, you know, empower themselves to be a better person or a better professional. That is what became the key and the most important thing to pursue. And so I guess it sort of became like blinders. You know, I put blinders on, and, you know, I realized that this conference, Hope to Hope, is about getting unstuck and inspiring people to go after what they want to do. And I certainly have learned a few things about that. But I will be honest and tell you that, you know, as and it's all done. And you just keep sailing from there. You know, I believe that if you found your passion, you leap and the net catches you, and then you're done. You just keep going. But it doesn't really work that way, at least not for me. In fact, I found out there is no net. You leap and you make a net as you go before you hit the ground. And so
Exactly. That's exactly right.
Yeah. So it's a saying that I think gets people in the right frame of mind, but it's not really how it works. I think you have to just you have to stay focused on what you're trying to do, and all the challenges and all the sacrifices that come up along with that are decisions that you make, to keep it going and to get to the next place. So I'm actually at a place right now where, even though we're 10 years into or 7 years into this dream, I'm in a place where I'm stuck again. And I've had a lot of people who mentor me and help me and then tell me, you're in a growing pains. This is actually a good thing. You're in growing pains right now. But I feel stuck in those growing pains, because the growing pains are painful.
Hate that part.
They really are.
But you have been stuck before and gotten past that. And then you're stuck again and you get past it. And then you're stuck again and you get past it. And eventually you wake up one day and go, oh yeah, okay, I'm stuck again, but I'm going to get past this too.
Yeah, I think that's just really what life is all about. We take that leap and we set in and step into our dreams. And there's always going to be challenges that are going to get us stuck. And we just have to know that we keep our eye on the ball, and we will find a way to get ourselves unstuck again. But being stuck is definitely part of the
process.
The process, yeah.
The process. But something I want to say to you, though, in particular, Cece, is the fact that you've been unstuck. You've come to a place of being stuck in a different way now. But, sometimes we, even as like coaches and mentors and so-called experts, our whole industry will give you pat answers and tell you, oh, it's just part of the process. And we are telling you it's part of the process. But sometimes we get to a place where we need other people. And I'm going to tell you, most of the time, we need other people. We just don't get to the point where we'll accept that. And I know from being with you how hard you work and how hard you bust your tail taking care of people, taking care of the horses, taking care of business, taking care of everything that you do, from mucking the stalls all the way up to being the leader of the pack. And so I just want to say this out loud for anyone who's listening. If you're in a stuck spot again, take your lead from Cece, because being honest, and she would have held this back if I would have said, hey Cece, don't talk to him about that stuff. She would have been quiet. But the thing is, that's not what we're about. We're about being raw and real and being honest about where we are. And quite frankly, she's in a spot today that she needs help. She needs some things. We've got some things on the horizon coming, but they're not coming quick enough for this particular thing to change today. And so if you have ever been interested in equine therapy or assisting people that are overcoming PTSD, overcoming grief through equine therapy, if you've ever been interested in this, I'm going to put out a plea to you that get involved with Cece. Get involved with what she's doing, because, when you change somebody's life, and I'm going to use a man for an example. If you change a vet's life, he's got an entire family that it changes.
Absolutely.
It's not just him. It's an entire family. And it's an entire, if he's working somewhere, it changes his work environment. It ripples out into so many areas.
The people that they come into contact with. I mean, it's everybody that it affects.
The teenagers, we had a conversation with another speaker yesterday about the males it's predominantly males that have gone on and done these mass shootings and things. And we're not saying anything about males. We're just making an observation. But
Yeah.
here's the thing. What if they had been in your equine therapy for the troubled teens? What if they had been a part of something that showed them a different way? You know, I think we're all responsible for helping each other, and we're responsible for taking those steps. And I just think this is a way. It's Christmas time. We're all thinking about the holidays. We're all thinking about, about doing things. But I'm going to go out on a limb, and I don't have Cece's permission. I'm going to say that right up front. I didn't ask her ahead of time. Cece's dealt with me enough. Knows how I am. If you want to give your kids something extra special this Christmas, give them a gift of donating to Cece's nonprofit, donating to Cece's horses. And Cece, I'm gonna say we'll help you, and we'll fund the backside of that. They need a picture of Dane or of Spring or of Molly or of Siriana. They need a picture so they know what their parents have done for them. So yes, I'm causing trouble, but
but it's a good kind of trouble.
But it's a good kind of trouble, and we'll help with that. We'll send them a picture and a thank you note, or let them know what it is. But if anyone listening will send whatever, we don't even care if it's $10.
That's right.
Send it to Cece's nonprofit. Don't send it to me. I don't want it. It's Cece that it goes straight to.
Let's send it to her.
Straight to the nonprofit. But I will back that by saying this princess will send out pictures, because I was just there and I have pictures and videos and everything else of the horses. I will send something out to them if they will send you something. If they will send you a donation of some sort, I will take it on myself to send them, something at the.
And I will say this, we're a volunteer-run nonprofit, the Spring Rains of Life. We're also right next to a train station, so forgive the train whistles. But we're a volunteer-run organization, so nobody collects a salary. I want to say, I think my treasurer quoted something a couple years ago about 87% of every dollar goes straight to programming. And I was just told this past Monday, we had a board meeting, and I was just told that in order to fulfill our 2018 programming demands of who's coming in the door, we need to come up with $63,000 for 2018. Now, to some nonprofits, that's a pittance because they have a $3 million budget or something, but that's our entire budget. If we come up with that much, it's about 85,000, but we have, I think, 27 now. So if we come up with another 60 or so $1,000, we are actually set for 2018 to make sure that we don't turn anybody away who is standing at the door saying we'd like to come in the gate.
Wow.
So that's, but to me, to little old me sitting here on December 1st going, $63,000, are you kidding me? I've got 4 weeks. What? But wow. I realize that there's a lot of people out there, and there's some people that actually look to make donations because they need to do that at the end of the year. Those are the people that can write checks for $5 or $10 or $15 or maybe even $20,000. I don't know those people. If I did, I wouldn't have this issue. But I also realize that there's a lot of people out in this country that can't write those kind of checks. But if they could do 10 or 20 or maybe $50, that's still a deductible donation. And if there's enough of those people that band together, we can reach that goal.
Well, can I go one step farther? And I'm just going to say this again. Cece never knows what's going to come out of my mouth. Like she's been subjected to this princess, and she knows that it's a dangerous thing to be on live with this princess sometimes because I can't help myself. But I will say that we have been, and it's in the works, it's coming down the pike, but we actually are putting together a children's book series that will be about the horses and about the horse that Cece that taught Cece the most. I'm going to say that taught Cece so much about just the relational things with people and horses. And we are coming out with that children's series in the next, I think it'll be out and ready in the next 3 months. So if anybody will send in something and they put on there and they give at least $100, we'll give them that series. Is that okay with you, Cece? As long as we do the funding of the book and you do the receiving of the donation. Would that work?
Absolutely. Thank you.
And so if you want to give an amazing woman the ability to keep doing and impacting lives, and you want to give your kids an amazing book about horses that are changing lives and some of their stories about how they've done, different things. And it's going to be in a kid's version. It's very sweet. But if you are willing to do that, we're willing to put you on the list for the books when they come out. And Sexy Business will take care of that tab so that you can get your budget met.
And I can give you a DIK receipt for that, right?
You're so cute.
So you deduct that from your business expense.
Well, anybody that's listening that has a business, please take note of the fact that, we all have extra money to spend at the end of the year that we don't want to pay in taxes. Like,
absolutely.
It's not that we have all this money laying around. It's just that I would rather put it towards something that I get to choose than paying more taxes.
Well, in the Crystalline Moment Success Movement, we'll be putting out information to everybody that we know, too, to try and help you out, Cece.
Thank you. Like I said, to me, $60,000 is a lot of money. But, to others, it may not be. And one thing I will say is that money will be spent on hospitalized veterans from Lions VA here in New Jersey. We see the units from their men's combat unit is actually the one we work with the most. And we also see, thank you, Jess. And we also see, I'm running low on power, so I had to get a way to plug in here. We also see the women's unit, and I will mention that, without saying any names, the predominant thing that the women are coming to us with is not so much combat PTSD, it's MST, which is known as military sexual trauma. So that's a whole nother thing. And then we see the DOM unit, the domiciliary unit, which is homeless veterans, who are also PTSD. So, these horses are working in the nonprofit. They are working to save lives. They are working to put lives back together. And I know it's happening because they, I've received notes and letters from some vets and even some teens that have said, I wouldn't be here right now if it weren't for this horse or that horse. And we have mailboxes for the horses, because when they get a letter or a note like that, we put it in their mailbox so I can start to collect these sort of really amazing testimonials that go beyond of, I had a great experience. When I like those testimonials, but when I get a note that says, I wouldn't be here right now if it weren't for Siriana, or I wouldn't be here right now if it weren't for Miff, those are ones that I really hold to my heart, because I realize that that's a life. And how do you put a dollar figure on a life?
Yes. Yes. Can we see the babies? Like, do you have enough power to get there or no?
What I was thinking was, because of the internet thing, I was thinking if we go, maybe if I say like the last 10 minutes, I would love to take this out and just take a chance and see if we can keep the internet going and just introduce you guys to the horses, because they're turned outside right now on this gorgeous day. But yes, I would love to do that.
How many horses do you have, CC?
We have 4 that work actively, that are sort of full-time therapy horses, and then we did adopt a mare when we moved to this new facility. In fact, the day before we left, we decided to save this mare that had come from a Texas kill pen, and she was highly traumatized herself, which is sort of what made she's got a team of owners, so we thought that Team Molly kind of band together to help this horse get her own center back and find her own way of being a horse again, that she might then be able to help people who are in that same position. And so we have 5 technically, 4 that work, on a daily basis, but 1 that is hopefully going to join our ranks once she feels totally safe. I will say it's interesting, this horse Molly, she has 1 client. She has a preteen girl that comes every Saturday to work with her through our LLC, through a private therapy. And this girl is self-harm and suicidality. She's got almost as many scars on her left arm as Molly does on her whole body. Molly has a lot of scars, a lot of visual scars. So I think that we made a good move in trying to rescue her and bring her back, because in time, I believe that she's going to be able to help a lot of people who are on the edge, really, really hanging on the edge there. I think that she's going to be one of our severe trauma horses because of what she's been through.
Wow. What about how many people are you able to serve with those horses?
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I have 1 horse that's 30. He's going to be 31 in March, and he's been doing this since we started it. In fact, the programs are actually named after him. He's basically my lead horse. I had a teenager once say, "What is this, a Jedi horse?" And that name kind of stuck with him, because I was like, yeah, he kind of is a Jedi, isn't it? He sort of looks past all your facades and all your all the stuff that we hold up to say I'm okay. He kind of cuts right through all that and says, no, you're not okay, and this is where your problem is. And so people either go, I hate this horse, get him away from me, or how does he know that? And the ones that say, how does he know that? He'll walk you through it. He won't slam you hard on the ground. He'll give you a gentle place to land and to figure it out. And it's interesting, because each horse in our herd kind of has a different role. The horse I'm talking about now, Spring, is the Jedi. He's the one who does emotional surgery. He just kind of goes right to the core of where you're suffering, and he exposes it, and you either have a choice to do something about it or continue to hide from it. I've got another horse his name is Dane, and he's big and powerful, and he has a huge presence, and most people, when they first meet him, are like a little intimidated. But he's the most gentle, loving creature, and he's my nurturer. He's the one who teaches people that you can handle things a lot bigger than yourself. And I've had 5-year-olds lead him around with a piece of yarn. And,
wow.
And they learn that they can handle their grief that is so much bigger than them, because they can handle this 1,200-pound horse that will walk beside them wherever they want to go, as long as they're sure about where they're walking. And then I've got a thoroughbred princess. Thoroughbred Mary's a total princess. But she's also a beautiful actress. We call her Sarah Bernhardt because of her sensitivity. She kind of physically acts out what's going on for either someone in the group, or maybe one person. If we're working with them individually, she will act out what's going on inside your head or your heart, and she'll display it for you physically. And that's why we call her an actress, because that's not her stuff that she's acting out. That's your stuff. And but she does a really nice job of doing that, because people are able to go, when they watch her. We always make it about the horses, by the way, when we're in the therapy arena. We don't say, so this is what's happening with you. We just simply say, wow, I noticed that this horse was standing quietly and kind of still a minute ago, and now, she's moving her feet a lot, and her tail's swishing, and her head's tossing, and she something's going on with her. What's up? And we ask the clients to tell us what's wrong with the horse. Like, but what happens through that process is by putting it all on the horse and what's going on with this horse, the clients are able to then kind of own up to what's going on with them, and they'll say, well, she's really anxious because, and they'll give a reason. And then we're able to say, well, how can we help her with that? And so by helping the horse, they're able to sort of uncover their own best solution for what will help them. Because we're not in the business of saying, you have anxiety, well, you need to breathe deep. Or, you're having anxiety, so you need to do this or this. We just simply say, wow, if this horse is having such a problem with anxiety, what would help with that? And we believe really strongly, when I say we, I mean EGALA, the whole international organization, trains us to believe that we are an experiential solution-focused modality. So whether you're trying to get your office mates to work together as a team, or whether you're trying to figure out how to face another day, we strongly believe that each client has their own best answer is within their own heart. It's just a matter of being able to help them link up with that, and the horses shed light on what that is, and then they're able to go, well, why didn't I realize that sooner? Or why didn't I realize that I just have to stand up to my mother and tell her, no, this is my boundary, or or I just need to speak a different way to my employees so that they listen, or they have their answers. They know what the right thing to do is. It's just that we get clouded and we try to conform, and we try to do all these things and fit into all these roles that we kind of lose touch with our inner voice. And the horses simply say, well, there's your inner voice right there. What do you want to do about it now?
Wow.
Now don't forget Miff.
And Miff, yes. Miff is our mama. Miff is a registered quarter horse. She was trained as a reiner and a cutter in her early years, and she ended up becoming a really successful broodmare. And so for 13 years, she made babies, and she's a very, very good mom. She's a tough mom. She's not one of these cushy moms, here, let me hug you and make it all better. She's like, stand up, sit up, and then I'll help you. Take control of your situation, and then I'll walk you through the door. And then I will take care of you. So she's very maternal, but she's kind of she's a tough love mom, which in some cases, that's exactly what our clients need. They need someone to be a tough mom and say, you got to figure this out, and you got to stand on your own 2 feet. And once you try, I'll help you do it.
So, how long does it take to train the horses? Are you looking for more horses?
I wish I was. And I'm going to ask you guys to walk with me a minute here, because I have a charger that is not charging. So I've got to figure out. I think I have an old phone that doesn't hold a charge very well, because I charged this phone very well before 2:30. So if you don't mind walking with me, because I'm at 6% and I'm worried we're going to drop.
No, that's just fine.
I will get us hooked up here. And now it's dark, right? But anyway, as far as the horses, no, I do not need more horses, and that is mainly because of money. I am offered horses all the time. I get emails. I wish I had as many donations as I did offers for free horses. I can't take on any more horses because I can't handle the work that it takes to take care of them and the money that it takes to keep them going until we have more of a full-time, 3-ring circus going on. As far as 3-ring circus, I mean like full-time program. Then I can't wait to rescue more horses because they'll need it. But right now, the 5 that we have are going to cover what we need. But I do need, and training them. You asked that question. We don't really train them. Horses are horses. And so what I look for is I look for a horse that is non-aggressive by nature, meaning their first reaction if they get stressed or if they feel like they can't handle what's going on, their first reaction is going to be to flight, to leave, to run, to leave the situation. If their first reaction is to bite or kick, that is an aggressive nature, which, by the way, is usually caused by people. But if that is where they're at, then that's not something I can put in the arena loose with people who don't know anything about horses.
Absolutely.
So that's really all I look for. I look for horses that are sensitive, that haven't been, numbed down, that still have their sense of horse, and that they don't have an aggressive instinct, which most horses don't, by the way. Like I said, that's usually human induced by abuse. But so that's all I really look for, and then the rest they just do by being who they are. Horses are prey animals, so they're normally very, very, very aware of their surroundings, and they're very alert to their surroundings, and they're very, very keen on picking up energy. So they're really naturals at sort of feeling whatever energy is in our arena when we have a client, and responding to that in an honest way. They do not have any judgment. They don't have any preconceived notions or agenda. They just simply are here in the present, and they reflect honestly what is going on in this moment. So what we tell our clients is we don't do horsemanship, we're doing lifemanship. So I don't care if you have horse experience or not. If you do, it might help you do what we do, because we're loose in the arena. There's no riding. The horses are just turned loose in the arena. The clients come in and we ask them to notice what they notice, and go up to the horses and get as close as they both feel safe, meaning the horse and the client. And then we kind of take it from there. We sort of see what horses show us in those first few minutes, and then we go from there. So we do always have a plan, and we have goals that we go into the arena with. And I have a joke that I always say: it took me 3 years as an ES to finally accept to trust the process and to trust what the horses give me, because I'm a Capricorn, and I try to have everything planned out and lined up, and it's going to go this way. And I finally had to just surrender to the fact that we plan not to plan. We walk into the arena with a plan. We have goals. We have everything we're trying to achieve, whether it's a corporate client or somebody who's having, real problems. So we go into the arena with a plan of, this is what we're going to do, and this is how we're going to do it, and these are the horses we're going to use to do this, and how we're going to accomplish it. And then I can't tell you how many times I walked into the arena with this idea of what we were going to do that day for the session, and then the horses start doing something totally different, and that plan is completely abandoned, and we go a completely different way, and then we find out later that that was exactly the key that was needed to open that door and get the client to understand or see what's going on. So I really trust them and how they read situations, and then they physically give us clues. And as I've done this more and more, I get better at reading the horses. I get better at seeing, well, I think the horse is doing that because of this. And I'll keep that quiet to myself. I'll talk to my partner and I'll say, I think this horse is doing this because of this, but let's see how it plays out. Let's see what happens. So it's really a really free ebb and flow. It's sort of, we walk in with an idea of what we're going to do, but we always remain open to see what the horses say, because it's really what they say that is at the heart of it, or at the core root of what's going on. It's they know, and I don't really know how they know. I know they're intuitive creatures. I know they're highly intelligent, but maybe this is part of their gift in what they give mankind. I mean, the horse-human bond goes back thousands of years. We've utilized horses to accomplish things in life since the dawn of time, really. I mean, they've settled civilizations, they fought our wars, they plow our fields, they did all of our beast of burden work for all those years, but they were always our partner in it. And a lot of the stuff we asked them to do is against their nature as a prey animal. Even getting on their backs and riding them is against their nature. That's where a lion attacks them. When they go to get them, they go for their back. So the fact that they let us ride them and jump and do all these crazy things that we do is they're a very giving soul. And so now that we step it to this other level of horses helping us heal our minds and our hearts and our way of life, and showing us maybe a better way to live our lives, I feel like that's really the gift that they have to give us. I mean, yes, we still ride and do all those things, but I think their truest gift to mankind is helping us learn how to be ourselves.
That is so powerful.
in an honest, congruent way, in a very authentic way. That's the other thing that they'll do is they'll call you on your dishonesty right away. And I'm not immune to that. They do it to me all the time, even if I'm not in for a session, they still call me on my stuff.
And I witnessed so much stuff that
Are we all still there?
Yes, can you hear us?
Uh-oh.
Can you hear us, Cece? She may have got out of the thing.
Yeah, she might be out of range.
Cece, if you can hear us. Nope, she dropped. She'll come back on. You guys don't
I have to
give
tell
up.
you. Okay, this is just there's actually a group like this here in town, and I had not been out to see them. There she is.
Wait just a second. Let's get Cece back on.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm sorry about that.
Here you are. Well, I was just gonna say though, Cece, that I got to witness. I had the privilege of getting to witness a lot of things that affected other people. But the truth is, I was impacted. I was just interviewing you and doing videos with you and trying to gather information so we could serve you in the best way we could serve you. And the truth is, it's just like with Molly. Molly's got scars from who knows what. You don't even know what happened to Molly in the kill pins and things. And I can so relate to her because I think we all carry scars. Our scars are usually not on the outside, they're on the inside. Yes. And when you come across a horse like Molly, who is precious, I mean, that's the other thing is she's been through so much at the hands of humans, and yet she still let us love on her and take selfies with her because, I am a princess. I have to take selfies. But it is amazing to me the things that I learned even about myself while I was there. And I wouldn't have thought, I didn't come there to be in therapy. I just think
none of us are immune to it. I mean, I think if you kind of let yourself be open, that is, I really believe that is the horse, the gift of the horse is really beyond all the physical things they've done for man. We've had a bond with horses for thousands of years. But I believe that their truest gift to us is teaching us about ourselves and teaching us how to be authentic, how to be authentic in all moments and to be present.
Yeah. That's the
be fully present.
We're not good at being in the present.
Okay, Cece, I want to make sure that we do not miss out on giving them the way to get to you. So tell me I'm going to put it in the comments as you tell me. Tell me the website or the number or the whatever you want me to put in the comments.
Okay, the nonprofit is springrainsoflife.org. And reins is spelt like bridle, R-E-I-N-S. And so that's springrainsoflife.org. There is a donations tab, but I would say, there's PayPal on there, but I would say if anybody was really serious about donating, they could simply just contact us and we would figure out a way to get them an address to send a check and do it that way.
And I want to make sure
but
that
if it's smaller donations, you could certainly.
I'm sorry, Cece. And we make sure that we get them pictures if they want to do it for their kids. We want to make sure that they tell you they came from this so we can honor what we're giving them for helping you.
You know what I'd like to do?
Right. Yeah, so maybe not PayPal then. It might be better to do it through a direct contact because then I would know where it came from.
I was just going to say, why don't Crystalline Moments contribute one of the Crystalline Moments books in addition to the children's book?
Oh, wow. Did you hear Miss Connie?
I have a book called Crystalline Moments. Crystalline means sparkly or clear, so moments of clarity. And I'll include one of those books with the children's book.
Thank you.
So that is awesome. So yeah, okay. So how can they get a hold of you, CC, to make sure they know and they get their stuff?
If they just want to contact me, my email is on the website. If you go to the contact portion, they can just send an email and then just maybe put in the subject line, Hope to Hope contact, or I don't, however they'd want to reference that maybe. But if they just explain that they're doing that for the book or for this, and then that way I can forward that. That would be a way for me to forward it on to you, I guess, and then the loop won't get, dropped.
Right. Yeah, because we don't want to drop the ball, and if we have their address, we'll get it sent out. I mean, we should be able to get it sent out within 48 hours probably. The book is not ready. I want to make this clear that the children's book is not out yet, but you will be on the list to get the first copies of the children's book as soon as it comes out, if you donate now. So put in the subject line,
Hope to Hope.
Hope to Hope.
Okay, yeah. That way I'll know where it came from. And I'll just kind of categorize everything that way. And
when you get the book, your books, I'll make sure that however many books you need from me, I'll send them to you and they can go out together.
Okay. That's awesome. Miss Connie's a giver too. We can't help it.
Well, Crystalline Moments.
You know what? I didn't mention one of the horses that you met. One of the horses that you met, Kim, when you were here.
Yes.
Is right here. He's right here. Do you want me to put him on?
I do.
It's the little short one.
Oh, crazy legs.
Yes.
Can
So
you hear me?
he is he's loose right now and he's doing his little gardening project. Hello, baby. If I go like this, can you see him? Where are you? Come on. Can you see him?
Not yet.
There he
Crazy
is.
legs. Hello.
Wait, I'm trying to get his head.
Hey,
Crazy legs. He's gonna kick me. He's kicking me. Look at this. Come on, Crazy. I just want you to say hi to everybody, man. Say hello.
Adorable.
Let me tell a cute story about this little fella. He comes in and he comes in the office with us, and I'm going to feed him an apple. Well, I'm a princess. I don't know all the stuff I'm supposed to know, I guess. So I feed him this apple, and when he smashes it, it goes all over me.
I do remember that.
Oh, he's so cute. So cute.
I don't know if
oh
you're getting him.
Gosh.
Where are the other babies?
Where'd he go? Can you see him? I can't tell if you can see him or not.
Yes, we can see him in the corner of the screen.
Okay,
The bottom corner, the little paint horse, the little mini horse, is Crazy Legs, and he is the mascot there at the barn, and he is
there he is. I'm not gonna go too close though, because he's in a little pissy mood today, I guess.
He's mad because I'm not there, Cece, with apples.
He hasn't signed off that it's okay to take his picture.
Crazy Legs does what Crazy Legs wants to do.
Did I see
Nobody tells him what to do. I'm trying right now to walk out to the field that's right by the barn. I kept the horses close today just in case we could do this. So I'll see if we can say hi to a few others. And I've got the boys are right here. I'm so bad at selfies, so this might not work out, but
we're gonna practice, Cece.
Yeah, you're good at those. I am not good at selfies. All right, but let's see if we can get Dane to say hello. Hi, Dane.
Oh, hey, Dane.
There's Dane. There's the Dane.
He's so sweet.
Spring is wearing his UV mask here, so I'll take it off so that we can see him.
Hey,
But there's
Spring.
my spring boy.
Oh, how beautiful.
Yeah.
Actually, it's hard with the sun. With the sun like that, I can't even see what I'm seeing. So I told you I was not technical. Oh, but you know what? Look who just came to say hi. Molly's right
Oh,
here.
Molly's my girl.
Let's see. Is that
Hey,
her?
Mom.
There's Molly. I'm trying to see what we see.
Oh my
Molly, will
goodness.
you say hi? Can you say hi to everybody?
Hey,
There she
Molly.
is.
Oh,
Isn't she
beautiful.
Hey, Molly.
Oh, and she's here.
I think she knows you guys are talking to her.
Oh,
My
you're so
goodness.
beautiful.
Yes. I will be back to
She
take more
really is. And
I
Siri is
cannot
close
wait
to
to
the
see them
fence, so
all.
I'll let you guys say hi to Siriana. Miff's a little further away. But let's say hi to Siri. Hi, Siri. You
Hey,
say hi to
Siri.
everybody?
Hey, Princess.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Well,
she's
you got
putting her nose up to the... Oh, don't disconnect us, okay?
She's my princess twin.
She's really beautiful. Yes, she is your
Wow.
princess twin.
Wow.
There we go.
Well, I am so proud of you, Cece, and all that you do with these babies and these, you know, people need you in so many ways that they don't even know, and they need these horses, and it just makes me so blessed to know you and be a part of like loving you.
Cece, I cannot wait to come out and meet you and these horses and see the work you're doing. I mean, I'm just blown away. I know there's an organization here in Las Vegas that does something similar with soldier or vets and stuff.
Oh, yeah. I
Right
think if
to
it's Horses to Heroes, I think.
yes, it is. Heroes.
I
That's it.
know I believe Cindy's the woman who runs that. I know her a little bit.
Oh,
We've talked a bit in
really?
the past.
Oh, well, I'm going to have to go out there and meet her and get to know more about this because I just love what you're doing. And I love the fact that the horses can know their purpose and stay present when us humans have such a terrible time doing that.
Yes.
Well,
Well,
they talk about when you talk about PTSD, and PTSD is not just combat or war. I mean,
Right.
it's if you've been through any traumatic situation, it's trauma that you survived. So it could be anything really. We've had clients on the private side that have PTSD from a car accident, and they're afraid to get in a car. But I think being present is the start to any of that healing, because if you are not present, you don't have anything. If you're not here now, you don't have anything to reference. If you're constantly being plagued by the past and those fears and those traumas, they keep you stuck there. And if you're worried or anxious about the future because of all the traumas and what they make you think about the future, you don't have a present moment. It
Right.
doesn't exist. And so being able to just find that present moment, it's the first place we start with the nonprofit. Is we put people into the arena, we ask them to notice what they notice, and essentially I start to list down the senses. What do you see? What do you list 5 things that you see, 4 things that you can hear, 3 things you can touch. It just gets them present. And also, I will say it's kind of hard not to be present with 1,000 pounds moving around you, so it kind of does work that way.
That kind of helps.
oh, you blessed me extra today that I got to see them
Oh,
and at least say hi to them.
I
Yeah,
wish we had more
Miff is
time.
kind of hiding down the hill. I can't get to her.
Oh, we lost
Oh,
her.
there she went.
Well, let me
Oh,
tell you, when we were
oh,
there, we were so blessed, and we're going back. We're going to go back and do some more work with CC. But I am a firm believer in changing lives, and that's what this conference is all about. And
absolutely.
CC lives that every day. So if you're listening and you have questions about the crazy talk we've been doing about what we're offering and stuff, if you help CC, the bottom line is if you go and help CC, we will do something for you because we just believe in CC, and You know, we do not have the ability to write a $60,000 check today to
If I
help her.
could, I would.
But we each have
But we have the ability.
5,000 friends on our friends list.
Right.
That if you gave $12, if you gave $12, each of our friends gave $12, that would meet the budget so that no one is turned away from the equine therapy. So if you're interested, please contact Cece. Please tell her you came from us so she knows and we can get you your gift.
Absolutely.
And if you can't figure out how to get a hold of Cece, get a hold of either one of us.
I'm gonna look up right now her email address and phone number so we can put it in the comments.
Yes. Well, thank you guys. I'm Kim White with My Sexy Business Team.
I'm Coni Meyers with Crystal A. Moment Success Movement and Publishing.
And this is the Hope to Hope Conference. And you just heard from Christianna Capra of Spring Rains of Hope and Spring Rains of Life. So please join us in the next session. We're going to have another powerhouse on at 4 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Central, 1 o'clock Pacific.
You got it.
I think I finally did it right. Yay! So we'll see Michelle O'Neill then. But you guys, thank you for coming and joining, and we love you guys.
Thank you. Mwah. It's spring.